everybody, this side Shruti from Aussizz Group. Today I'm going to tell you all about what this IELTS exam is. It is actually one gateway to abroad. Many of you are already there in Australia, but still getting the permanent residence is a question. And for that we need points and how to score those points. IELTS must be one way of your choice which will be giving you closer to your all the points which you need to get the permanent residence. So let's start from here. What exactly this IELTS is? It is an international English language testing system which is basically designed to help you not only for permanent resident but also for study, work and migrate, which you can say permanent residence option. And as it is a language, so every language has four parts: listening, reading, writing and speaking. All these four parts are assessed during the test, and you people are scored on the grade levels 1 to 9. Basically for permanent residents people need 7 bands each or 8 bands each. That depends on their occupation, and if you are going for study or work then it can be even lesser than 7 and 8. It can be 6.5, 6, 5.5 also, and it also depends on which kind of course you are opting. Then you can see on my screen, this test is conducted by two bodies. Many of the people, they have some illusions about the bodies, which kind of paper we should give, because there are two bodies, IDP and British Council, which are conducting this paper. There is basically no difference. It's nothing like that IDP students will be getting the more score and not the British one, and vice versa. It is just that it is a kind of paper which is taken on a major scale, you can say. That is why two bodies are held for this to conduct. And there is no difference in pattern, exam, scoring. Everything is done on a balanced level. Side by side, if you have the question, you can put it in the comment box, okay? And I will be reading those questions for me in the end. Then further, there are two types. Since last year, this IELTS exam, it is being conducted through online also. Like you will have a system just like in Pearson test of English. You have your laptop, internet connection, so computer-based test will be there. Some people are not so good in writing, they are good in typing because it is the era of digitalized. So that is why they have also started this computer-based exam, which is exactly the same as you give your IELTS paper-based exam, but instead of writing your answer on the paper, you type them on a computer. And then speaking will be the same one. It will be a face-to-face discussion. In the speaking section, it's not that you will be talking to the system. You will be talking to an examiner, okay? Physically present, you have to be there, okay? Next thing, in the paper-based, what are the things you have to do there? It will be just like you are writing on a paper sheet or your answers, and speaking again, it will be given in front of the IELTS examiner. The test format. Basically for study and permanent residence, which you can say for the migration purpose, this test is conducted in two versions further. One is called academic and the other one is called general training test. In academic, you see only and only people who are going for study, they opt IELTS academic, and the other one is opted by general, which is opted by the people who want to migrate. And even for work also, you have to go with IELTS academic, not permanent residence, and not the general one. Then all the test takers, they, no matter whether you are giving for academic or general, you just have to give the same listening and same speaking tests. But there will be different writing and reading tests. So the listening, reading and writing sections of all IELTS tests are completed on the same day with no breaks in between, continuously for 2 to 2.5 hours. You have to write, you have to do your L, R and W paper on the same day. And your speaking can be covered up 1 week before or even 1 week after your main test. And the total test, total I mean, I'm talking about all the 4 modules here. Total time is 2 hours and 45 minutes. let's now we talk about one by one module, what would be its time, what are the question types you get there, and how you will be doing. In between, we will also do a few questions that will be giving you the idea how this paper will be having the question type and how you need to solve them even. First of all, on the screen, I have the test format for the listening section. The number of questions here are 40, always 40. It cannot be less than 40, it cannot be even more than 40. Then marks, 1 mark for each one question is there. If out of 40, my 37 questions are correct, so my score will be 37 out of 40. So total score always 40. As many questions you make there correct, so correspondingly you will be getting the score. Next, time for listening is always 30 minutes for the paper based, okay, and 10 minutes extra are given for you all to transfer your answers from your question sheet onto your answer sheet. Remember one thing, in your paper based exam you will have a question paper just like in the manual exams one has, and you will have an answer sheet also. Answer sheet will be having the combined modules answers for your listening and reading. One page for your listening and the other page for your reading. And on listening, there will be your properly sequencing will be done. For question number one, whatever your answer will be, A part, B part, or if it is in a word, you're supposed to write it there. And this particular thing you would not be able to do while you are listening to a recording. So what you can do, even everybody has to do in the paper, at the time you will be listening, you are supposed to write everything through a pencil. Don't use pen there. Through a pencil, you will be jotting down everything on your question paper. You would not be writing directly on your answer sheet. Extra 10 minutes are always given to each and every student. Okay, so at that time, in the extra time, you will be shifting your answers from the question paper onto the answer sheet. But in the computer-based exam, no extra time is given, only and only 30 minutes are given where you will be listening and typing on the screen directly. There are different task types for listening exam. You can have the multiple choice questions where you will be finding option number 1 correct, okay. It can be even more than one answer correct there. So that depends on the question. You always need to read the instructions, and when you listen to the audio at that time also, the speaker inside the audio will be guiding you. In this question type, you will be doing this and that. So please listen to those instructions very carefully. It is very important. Don't miss that part. Then it can be the matching. What the speaker speaks, you have to match the wording there. Then plan, map, diagram, labeling can be there. It can be a form. It can be a note, table, flow chart. It can be a summary completion also. Like they will be speaking one sentence and not exactly the same wording they will be jotting down on the question. Make a note on your copy. This is the best tip that I'm going to give for listening and reading. Sometimes people say that I'm unable to get the answer because I was hoping that speaker will be speaking that particular word that I'm able to read on my screen or my question paper. But speaker doesn't speak those words. What is the reason? Why I couldn't hear that? Actually, it's not that you didn't hear, speaker didn't use those words. Listening and reading in IELTS as well as in Pearson exam, basically. It is actually a game of paraphrasing. Not directly, they are going to give you the wording. See, I'm speaking this, you are listening this, and then complete it. It's not that so easy to grasp the words and then write. Remember one thing, we all are mature enough. They are going to check our ability to listen. It's not that right now you all are listening to me and then you're just writing down, and this way the paper will be conducted. They're basically going to judge your listening ability. So paraphrasing one has to consider. For example, in paraphrasing, the word that you listened there in the audio, it was a student and teacher relationship, whatever the speaker was speaking there, the topic. And at that time, the question and the words the speaker was speaking there, The student assessment can be good when it will be representing the student's capabilities. Speaker spoke this line. And after that, you had a question. Which of these is the major point for which the students can be achieving their scores good? Later on, what the speaker in the audio would be speaking, you got those words directly present in the options. And what we do, we match. That is the biggest mistake people do there. We match as if, oh, I got this in my audio, so that would be the answer. Remember one thing, the question is asking you the major aspect for the student assessment. If you are getting the best score in any particular exam, what would be the reason behind it? The basic first reason is that your own capability, teachers' efforts, and the course interest, all the rest of the things are coming later. But if a person is not having ability, he or she would not be able to get that maximum to maximum score. So what I'm trying to say here, this question type, even throughout your listening and your reading, paraphrasing is very important. Your full focus should be on your question. Do not match the wording here. If you try to match the wording, you may not score good because we are checking your listening and understanding ability. So if I am saying good, speaker may speak their not bad. So this is how you have to relate things. And sometimes you can even make the notes if the question will be a bit lengthy one or you feel scary from any particular task. And one more thing, in your listening section, it is a kind of adaptive test. Now what is that? As you move from one section to another one, the tasks, the audios, their, you can say, their difficulty level, it increases. The very first question, the very first section will be too easy. And most of the students are able to score their 10 out of 10. There are basically 4 sections, so 10 marks from each. The more you go towards your further sections, the test will be, or the audios will be comparatively bit difficult. So that is why you also need to prepare like that wise. You need to spare more time for your section 3 and section 4, okay, so that in exam also we would have the proper concentration when we listen to something. Next, summary completion, sentence completion, that is again depending on the paraphrase. As I was telling you, you will be having the 4 sections. So recording 1 means the section 4, section 1. It will be a conversation between 2 people set in an everyday social context. Of course, everything like you are calling me and I am the coordinator of a particular company and you are inquiring something. You have to book the tickets for your next air visit. Something like that will be there. Then recording number 2, it will be a monologue. Monologue will be only one speaker will be there and he or she will be talking. Set in an everyday social context. It can be any kind of knowledge, a speech about local facilities like you can see. Recording number 3 will be a conversation always between up to 4 people. Maximum you can have 4 people. But in general, like you can say 40 to 50%, you will be having 2 or 3 people in exam in section number 3, where they will be discussing about any kind of educational training context, like say I am the university tutor and I am guiding you, you have to submit your assignments. In between, my students are also raising the questions. So this is a kind of conversation. Then recording number 4, that will be the section number 4. It will be again a monologue and very difficult part of your listening section on an academic subject. Only and only academic things are played there. Not any vague thing will be played, totally related to academic. So your vocabulary of academic must be great. Next, now let's come up to further reading section. In reading, you have both academic and general. The same set is there as you can see here. Number of questions, 40 for academic and 40 for general, and marks 1 mark for 1 question. If you're marking it correct, writing the word, the number correct option, you're marking correct. Total score of 40. Now you can see this is one reading question which will be helping you to know what kind of questions we may have. Select the appropriate advertisements or write A or B on your answer sheet. You can see on my screen, this is a question. Which advertisement is not for a restaurant? Cooking class, and ad number B, it is not at all having any kind of statement there. So the rest of the things, when I start reading about its about the advertisement number B, so you will get to know that 10% discount on takeaway, so it is a kind of restaurant. Which advertisement is not for a restaurant? Figure out the word not. So which is not for a restaurant? Option number A. So just question number 1, write there capital A. Do not write small b, small a. Okay, you have to write only capital. The way the question is framed, you have to go exactly like this way. I give one more example here. Some of the questions will be related to yes, no, not given, and true, false, not given. If the question is demanding from you that you have to type there or write there true, false, not given, and you wrote yes, no, not given, that's a mistake. You would not get the score at that time. No matter your answer is correct, you still will not get any score. So please take care of these things in mind. Then second question was, which advertisement offer facilities for parties up to 90 people? We're talking about party, so it must be related to a restaurant. So here you can read in the last, separate party room is there in advertisement B, up to 90 people. So it is so easy to find. So at the place of question number 2, their answer you will write option number B. That's it. Simple. Here, the rest of the task types will be multiple choice questions, again saying paraphrasing. People are unable to score good in academic reading, especially because you get lengthy paragraphs there. So just focus first on picking up the keywords from the question or from the option as well, and then divide it into some parts, and then relate those parts. Are you able to get them there in the question or not? If any part is not matching, plus their synonyms are not matching, you have also checked those. Their paraphrases are not matching, you have also checked that, and that option has to be incorrect. And if any of the parts of your question or of your option you were not able to get it there in the question, I mean to say any part, it's any wording, it was missed there, so that is also not given. So you may consider that kind of option as not given because it is missed. So somehow people are not able to get the proper understanding of their not given and this false answers. So you have to go with this method. I'm saying again, read the question, pick out the keywords, because related keywords, their synonyms or the paraphrases you have to see inside the question. And while you are trying to match, you also have to divide your options into 3 parts. Check those parts are available with their synonyms or with their paraphrases. If not, that is incorrect. If something is missing, 90% of the things are matching, but 10% you didn't get neither of their synonyms nor of their these paraphrases, then it will be not given. Rest you can see identifying information, what the speaker will be what you will be able to read there. Then you have to identify that kind of information and corresponding the option you will be writing there. Identifying writers, views and claims, like you have a question, you have a text. The question will be, what would be the main idea, the central idea, the summarization of this text, or it can be generalization, the crux, the title, the heading. So this kind of thing can also be there, purpose of the author, something like that. Matching information can be there, matching the headings. One of the typical questions of the reading section. You will have some options like A to J, K, L also. So many options will be there. somehow 10, 12, 15 even. Some long paragraphs will be given, and they will be having the sequencing like A, B, C, and then you have to read, not thoroughly, but a little bit have a glimpse so that you can get the proper understanding what this paragraph is telling me. Then quote by your own. If the paragraph is telling you about the introduction of something, related words you have to choose from your options given, and whichever option will be matching. So at the place of that question number, you will mark that Roman number of the options. In this way, you will do the matching. Then matching features, matching sentence addings can be there, sentence completion. Here also paraphrasing will be there. You will have a long text and blanks will be made. You need to see the portion which is given in the blank in the text. At that time, 100% you have to go for checking the paraphrases and synonym. Okay? So please take care of these things. Summary completion, similar kind of thing. You will have a note you will be given, and its proper information will be given at the front, and then you have to read the information and have to complete that note. Table completion exactly the same way. Flow chart completion, diagram label completion, short answer questions. Now I want to say here one thing. It's not that your paper will be having for both academic and general each and every type of question. If I have put in one of the question sets note completion, I'm not going to give you rest of the other completions like table, flowchart, or diagram. Okay, one or more than one, not after that. Next, the test format for this general training writing section. For writing, you will have proper 60 minutes, and there will be 2 tasks. This is for general, please note down. Task 1, it will be a letter. You will be presented with the situation and asked to write a letter requesting information or explaining the situation. The letter may be personal, semi-formal, or formal in style. To write that letter, you will have proper 20 minutes and at least 150 words one has to write. When you write on a paper based, then at that time, you have to check manually how many words you have written. I would recommend you all, don't spend so much time in checking 1, 2, 3, 4 words. What you all can do, make an average there. In 2 lines, how many words you are able to write? Say in 2 lines, I wrote somehow 13 words. Then in 10 lines, how many words I would have written? Almost 130 or 140. In this way, you will be making the idea. Okay? No need to count it 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? Next thing, task number 2. Task 2 for general and academic, it is same, exactly same. You will be asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. The essay can be fairly personal in style. They can give you anything. It's not that like Pearson test of English, you will have the repetitive essays and IELTS. No. The number of times you give this exam, every time, every different question will be coming. So that is why one has to prepare here thoroughly. And this is the task where you have to put lots of efforts, lots of. And here 40 minutes will be there for one essay for both the academic as well as general training, and at least 250 words you will be writing. Writing scores for both academic and general. Test format for academic writing. 60 minutes again you will have here, and task 1. Now you don't have to write a letter. It will be a graph. It will be a pie chart, any random picture they will be giving you and will be asking you write over it. So you will be presented with a graph, table, chart, or diagram and asked to describe, summarize, or explain the information in your own words. You may be asked to describe and explain the data. Data can be present over the picture. Describe the stages of the process, how something works, or describe an object or event. And for this also, again, you will have 20 minutes. And at least 150 words you will be writing. Task 2, again the same. It will be an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem can be given. Responses to both tasks must be in a formal style. Do not use informal, non-formal language there. Some people, they have the habit, the way they communicate with the other people, they start writing in that style. Please avoid it. Don't add um, gonna, wanna, these kind of words, bother in your writing areas. You have to be 100% formal here. Now 40 minutes for writing the second essay and at least 250 words you have to write. Writing scores for both academic and general. Examiners use assessment criteria. These are the four skills over which everybody is assessed. Number one, task achievement. There you will have few points that you have to talk about this, you have to talk about this and that. And if you haven't explained that, task is not achieved by you, scores less. Task response in the sense, your answer. Whatever the question was having, are you writing each and everything there or not? Okay, so task response for task 2. Coherence and cohesion means the logical flow between the sentences, between the paragraphs, as well as inside the sentence of everywhere, task 1 and task 2. Then you will have the lexical resource and grammar range and accuracy. Lexical resource means you should be talking about the question only, and grammatical range, whatever I have asked you to write about that only. Don't follow the templates, especially in IELTS writing essays, and accuracy is also measured here. Then after that, whatever the score you get here, its average is found. Add, say 5 marks I have assigned for each of these skills, so total 20. Out of 20, how much you scored, its average will be found by adding all the 4 skills divided by 4. That will be your total score out of 20. Next, test format for the speaking section. Now it will be hardly for 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, 11 to 14 minutes can be given, 10 to 15, but that depends on the examiner. If the examiner is taking the exam since morning, he or she is not literally going to spend more time over you. So if your exam is in the morning time, they are fresh, so they must be asking you lots of questions in the morning especially. The speaking section assesses your use of spoken English. Every test is recorded. Yes. Before you start speaking, or even before the examiner starts his or her communication with you, at that time, they will have a recorder. They play the button to start the recording, and each and every recording conversation is being recorded there, so that later on, if anyone would be getting any kind of feeling that he or she had done well in the paper but scores are not appropriate, and it is checked by 3 examiners basically, and the final scores you see on your score report. So that is why it is being recorded. Part 1, it will be the general questions, can be based on your home, family, work, your studies, your interests. It can be anything. They can pick one particular topic. They would not be telling you. Say if they are asking the questions related to the parks, they will be asking 4, 5, 6 questions over the parks. So back to back you have to answer. This part lasts between 4 to 5 minutes. Part 2, there will be a cue card where one particular topic will be mentioned. 3 to 4 questions will be there. You will have 1 minute to prepare yourself for that topic, and then you will have to talk. At the time of preparation, you can jot down the things over a paper. They will give you the paper and pencil. It will be there for 1 minute to 2 minutes. 1 minute preparation. After that, speaker will be giving you the permission to speak for at least 1 minute, for more than 2 minutes. And in between, if they find you are speaking good, they may interrupt you at anywhere in between. Part 3, you will be asked further questions about the topic which was given in the part 2. Say in part 2, it was about space. So part 3 will be about space only. Okay, so be prepared for your topic cue cards well, because the corresponding questions speaker is going to ask you further. And part 3 will also be there for some 4 to 5 minutes. So basically 10 to 15 minutes for speaking for both academic and general. Now speaking scores, you will have these 4 criteria over which everybody is assessed. Fluency, how you are fluent while speaking, those questions. And coherence also. Coherence is basically, if I'm speaking, I am speaking on the behalf of something. So if my flow will be over somehow, then coherence is not there. I mean that logical sense must be there. Then lexical resources, how you are planning your answer based on the ideas, that depends here. Grammatical range and accuracy, how well you were able to use the grammar and how accurate it was, that will also be checked. Pronunciation, many people, their pronunciation is not good, so what they can do, they need to listen to the native speakers, and on daily basis they must be learning these things, that how the general words are spoken correctly and with correctness. I said two C there, correctness and clarity. If you don't open your mouth properly, recorded, your voice will not be recorded properly, and even the examiner would be getting the difficulty to get your words, and back to back they will be saying come again, come again. So that is a bad point. Open your mouth widely, don't get nervous there. People will get it, is but obvious, but we should not. Just prepare yourself like that way that you don't even fumble once in the paper, and your pronunciation should be accurate. After that, its average is found and overall speaking scores are defined. Now you can see speaking general questions. I mean the part one. Where is your hometown? Don't say I live in Melbourne in Australia. Only this much. You have to define it properly in 2 to 3 lines. Okay. Do you like your hometown? Don't say only yes there. You have to talk about the specialities of the hometown. Do you often visit your hometown? Say someone is living already there. You can also answer like this way, that I'm already living in my hometown, so every day I'm here only. What is your hometown like? So here you have to talk about all the specialities of your hometown. What is the oldest place in your hometown? So if you don't know the oldest place, on the spot, create something. Remember one thing, more in speaking IELTS exam, you will be trying to be honest. You will be able to you will be able to give the answers from your real life. You will 100% stuck. It will be a mixture of real life and the fake life, that your imagination on the spot, how you cook up a story. So this is all about speaking, and I want to give you a little bit more knowledge about the speaking general questions. Say now the topic is birthdays. Do you enjoy your birthdays? No one will say no, I don't enjoy. So you have to say yes, and just in brief, in 1 to 2 lines, talk about it. Do you usually celebrate your birthdays? Even if you don't do that, but you have to give your answer accordingly so that it can be a little bit elongated. What did you do on your last birthday? Even if you haven't celebrated, but still you need to cook up a story here. Can you remember a birthday you enjoyed as a child? If you haven't remembered it, again, cook up the story. Next, for all these 4 modules, how to prepare, that's a big challenge. And for that, Aussizz Group is having this IELTS tutorials, which will provide you lots of real exam practice in the form of the mocks, different style of coaching as per the needs of the test takers. So we have the different batches, morning and evening, as well as we are also having the 4 applications on Google Play Store based on the 4 modules separately. Separate reading is there, separate speaking, and separate writing. Module based, you will be having the applications to practice. Lots of samples are there. You can read and get the knowledge and can enhance your brainstorming power that is very much needed for your speaking and your writing section. IELTS Tutorials YouTube channel, which will provide you the free access of the webinars. You can get it from here. This is our IELTS YouTube channel. Just write on IELTS Tutorials. You will be getting lots of free webinars to watch. If you are the beginner, I would say before commencing with the coaching, just go through with these. Okay? Next. This is our website, IELTS Tutorials, and you can see it here. Now see, the price is so less for 40 days coaching. It is 2,999 INR, and you can book your class by clicking here. Rest of the things, book your class personalized. If you want a one-to-one coaching, that is also there. The writing correction service is also there. Okay. So next you will have our coaching. This I have already explained. Our applications. These are 4 applications, screenshots you can see on my screen. Everything will be there. This is about essay, letter, writing, study. Everything will be there. Even you will be getting the access to join our Telegram group. By clicking here, if you would have downloaded the Telegram app on your phone, you have registered your phone number, and then you can be the part of our group. You can see, look at the members here, 7,511 members are there, and you can see this is a message. Actually, it is a feedback given by our one of experts of IELTS, Sandeep. Someone had asked something to Sandeep, and now see, look at the way how he is explaining the things here also. Okay, so through this group you get limitless knowledge for IELTS. It is free to join for you all. That's all from my side.
Thank
Moving
you.
to Anna.
Thank you for all the information provided. I would like to request whoever is available to join us for the other sessions as well. And also, I will leave the review link here so you guys can tell your thoughts about the session and what else we can improve for the next time. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope everyone has a good evening.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.